Hello guys, today let's break down a really interesting theory that the Calypso Twins from Borderlands 3 might not be the traditional siren we think of, and instead might be an anti-siren weapon made by the Eridians and locked away in a vault. What I'm going to talk about comes from the tweet above I'll show on screen, but I'm using my own interpretation and mostly just use this as a jumping off point. Before we get into that, make sure to follow me on Twitter at Hayder for updates on all things Borderlands and future videos. And with that, let's get into the theory. This theory claims that the Calypsos are a vault monster or were locked away in a vault until they were needed by the Eridians. We know the Eridians locked up many weapons, technology, knowledge in their vaults. So if they did find twins who had the ability to steal siren powers, or if the Eridians themselves were able to create artificial siren twins to steal siren powers, this seems like something they would have wanted to hold on to in case they ever needed it. And this could lead to some answers about the relationships between sirens and Eridians in general. If the Eridians created the first sirens and it's been passed on from there, or if Tyreen was one of the first sirens but was kept in the vault, the possibilities are really endless on how this could play out in the game itself. But all of those could be their own theories, but we know there is a connection between Eridians and sirens. On top of this, we really haven't seen anything that can match a siren yet. So if the Eridians are responsible in some form for sirens, they could also be responsible for the anti-siren, like the Calypsos. It could make sense that there is something out there able to fight a siren. So let's get into some evidence. First is the mysterious Watcher from Borderlands the pre-sequel, who we assume is an actual Eridian as opposed to just a Guardian. There's so many videos breaking down the difference. I'm not going to get into it here, but actual Eridian. And the end scene in Borderlands the pre-sequel, where the Watcher stops Lilith from killing Athena and tells her that war is coming and we will need all the Vault Hunters we can get. The Watcher had its hand in stopping the vaults from being opened in Borderlands the pre-sequel and sides with Zarpedon to prevent this. They fail, but what if after the events of that, the Watcher goes to check out another vault, trying to prevent that from being opened, and this could be the one where the Calypso Twins were being held and eventually freed. The Watcher then knows what they are capable of, so then the Watcher returns to the Vault Hunters and warning them of the war to come, that this anti-siren weapon just got released and they should be worried about what's going to come next. This would also explain why the Calypsos weren't part of any game in the series. Jack was tracking sirens, and it doesn't look like Tyreen tries to hide her tattoos. So if they were locked up in a vault until 5 years before the events of Borderlands 2, it would explain why the Vault Hunters never mentioned the Calypsos, never knew the Calypsos, and it would give the Calypsos time to adjust to the world they were freed in and then start to build up their following. And if they were released from a vault, this could explain who the mysterious "Honor Your Father" line could be in reference to on their poster. Maybe they were being controlled by whoever released them, similar to how Jack was able to control the warrior in Borderlands 2. And this figure could be the father. Another unlikely idea is the last generations of Vault Hunters could have freed them without them knowing, and went on with their lives, not knowing what the Calypsos were capable of, thinking that they were just another siren and wanted to get out. The most likely answer is that Honor Your Father could just be in reference to Troy. If he is able to power up enemies in-game, they could all be worshipping him, all the bandits and enemies, for a chance to be powered up by his siren abilities, which would make sense. Honor him so you can get this power. And one of the biggest pieces of evidence is this would explain the name of their cult, which is Children of the Vault. They could name their followers this because the Calypsos are basically the physical embodiment of the vault itself if they were from one. So all their followers would be their children and would be called Children of the Vault, which leads more into the idea that Troy might be the father they are honoring. The stained glass picture we see in the announcement trailer has a COV logo inside of a vault. That could all be the vault where the Calypsos are from, and this is how they were able to build a following on the planet. On top of being a siren, they're also from a vault, which is two of the most powerful things we've seen so far in game. One last thing worth mentioning is their symbol is also an inverted vault symbol instead of a traditional vault symbol we've used in all the games up to this point. This has religious symbolism all over it. When the symbol is inverted, it could mean that they are the opposite to every Vault Hunter and sirens up till now. So they would literally be the anti-sirens opposed to just the traditional sirens because of inverting the symbol. But this is just a theory. I think there's a lot of cool information and discussion that can be had around this. What you think the Calypsos are, how Gearbox is going to explain where they were for all this time. But I think it's cool because it will give us a lot of answers on Sirens, Eridians, and the Vaults. So that's where I'm going to end this video. I've been having a lot of fun concepting these theories for you guys. Make sure to like and share this video, subscribe to the channel for all things Borderlands, and I will see you guys in the next one.